event. So I would like to say welcome to our mega lecture talk. And today we have 6 presenters. The first is Muhammad Obaidullah from Bangladesh. The second, Dr. Chris Sotiropoulus from Australia. The third is Dr. Risa Triassanti, M.Pd from Tuban, Indonesia, University of Ronggolawe. And number 4 is Dr. Andi Sadopotto, M.Pd from Muhammadiyah University of Sidenreng, Rappang, Indonesia. Number 5 is Dr. Yuni Utami Asih, M.Pd from Mulawarman University. And number 6 is Budiasih, S.Pd M.Hum from State University of Raden Surakarta, Indonesia. And for the second day today, the moderator is Dr. Aeni, M.Pd from State University of Makassar, Indonesia. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to please Dr. Aeni to handle the session.
Okay, thank you, Brother Wafi. Well, yes, I'm Dr. Aeni. I'm from Universitas Negeri Makassar, Indonesia. I'm the assistant professor in ELT, English Education Department, the faculties of Languages and Literature in Universitas Negeri Makassar. So I'm so thrilled. I'm thrilled to be a part of this mega lecture talk as the really incredible occasion. Thank you so much to the committee for having me in this occasion to be a moderator. Hopefully we will have a fruitful discussion later. Well, let me mention and read about the short biography of the presenters for today. We have Mr. Obaidullah, BA. Are you there, sir? So he's from Northern University of Business and Technology, Khulna, Bangladesh. And the second one, we have Dr. Chris Sotiropoulus, Chief Executive Officer, Global Opportunity, Commercialization from Australia. Are you in, sir? Welcome to, yes. Welcome to this great occasion.
Thank you,
okay. And then we have Dr. Risa Triassanti, M.Pd. She's the head of English Department, University of Ronggolawe, Tuban, Indonesia. Welcome, Ibu.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, so glad to see you again.
Yes.
And then we have Dr. Andi Sadopotto, M.Pd. Welcome, my senior.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, nice to see you today. And then we have Dr. Yuni Utami Asih, M.Pd. She's the head of English Department, Mulawarman University, East Kalimantan. Welcome, Ibu.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Yes, hi. Nice to see you today. And then we have candidate doctor of Budiasih, S.Pd M.Hum. She's the head of English Department, State Islamic University of Raden Surakarta, Indonesia. Hi, Ibu. Welcome to this great mega lecture talk today.
Very much. Hello.
Okay, so let me start with the first speaker for today. Mr. Obaidullah, BA. Are you in, sir?
I think you can go on to the next.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Next, we will have the second speaker actually, but this is the first presenter for today. Now we have Dr. Chris Sotiropoulus. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir. Welcome to this great session. Okay, let me read briefly about yours. He holds a PhD in molecular microbiology and law degree from Australian University. and executive training in leadership and strategy in pharmaceutical and biotech executive training from the Harvard Business School. He served on private public governing boards and charities in several countries, including India, Somalia, Nigeria, and Australia. He is a sought-after international speaker in the fields of international affairs, nation capacity building, speaker in the fields of international affairs, nation capacity building, and pedagogy and entrepreneurship. And he has previously taught at Swinburne University for MBA and Australian Graduate School of Entrepreneurship, subjects including corporate strategies and entrepreneurship, opportunity evaluation, business strategy, operation management, management and innovation, interaction to venture development, business strategy, and units for Australian and Vietnamese large corporate. Wow, what an excellent experience that he has. So now, without any further ado, let me call Dr. Chris Sotiropoulus to start his session. The mic is yours, sir. Please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, moderator, organizer. It's my pleasure to be here. I've always wanted to come to Indonesia, and this is one small way that I can get there through Zoom. So I thank you both very much. I will now share my screen for my presentation. So what I'd like to talk about today is the context within what this very august conference is about and lecture series, but in the view of our Young Dream Creators program, sparking the creative mindset of students. So we are a private company, but it is very important for us as part of our DNA to assist the young in their innovation, creativity. So in terms of pedagogy and English, we believe that everyone is a potential genius. Most people do not express that because they lack self-esteem and direction. So we have created a program which empowers the youth to fulfill their maximum potential by leading them through a fun, structured program based on evidence principles. This image here captures some of the elements in practice. So we have late primary school students, high school students who work with us, but we identify their passion and they come up with a project which has an international element. The images, I'll talk through some of the images because they're quite informative. So on the top left is Dr. Ria Ertz, our program leader, sitting down in our office, level 27 of one of our big buildings in Melbourne, with our beautiful parkland in the background, speaking to these two late primary boys to identify what really excites them. Like all boys, we like social media, we like computers, but it's more than that. So what is it that they like? Do they like environmental projects, humanitarian activities? Do they want to build things? The student in the middle is a high school student, very much interested in what you would expect from a lot of high school students, caring about the environment. So she very much is impassioned about the environment. And that's wonderful because these people will represent our future. On the right, you have two images computer-based, where the boys are seen laughing. They're seen using Zoom software to interview children of their age from different parts of the world. So their project was, we want to speak to kids our age from different parts of the world, find out what they like, what their school is like, what their life is like, what problems they have that they would like improved. They're doing this on their own. Enormous confidence boost for the kids. Interviewing children from Africa, Europe, Asia, United States. We help guide them as to how they should conduct this activity. But it is really important that they do it themselves so that they can learn and get the maximum potential out of it. The bottom two images have the lady, the student, Yanina, with her friends, looking at extracting from compost methane, and then the methane to be put back into the school science labs and cooking labs. Now, what a fascinating project. I would not have even thought of that. So what learning skills have they got? Well, first of all, presentation skills, presenting to the classroom. Secondly, interacting with people of different ages and scientists and people who want to help them. This is a very powerful initiative for these kids. An important element of this program is not just that we get kids to do projects, but they interact with members of our organization as well as others around the world. So we force them to mix with people from different ages and different cultures, because different ages and different cultures bring different perspectives, but it also requires the kids to have lots of confidence and lots of empowerment. So a lot of these children, or young, have previously not had that level of freedom, but this is their project. It's their passion, their excitement, and they will leverage from the various team members we have in our organization, in addition to others outside. So let me give you a few examples. The top left, a few of our grey-haired members of our organization, our leadership with international experience and many, many years of wisdom. They're there to impart the wisdom. On the top right, Ria Ertz, the program leader, Sasha Kaluri, one of the top motivational speakers in Australia who has an international profile. So it's all about being the best at who you are, being self-confident, learning, extracting relationships and friendships and using that for your project. Andrew, and then to the bottom, Janelle and Alec are university graduates, very smart, but young as well. So they bring a different generation, a different mindset, a lot closer to the young. That's really important as well, because they speak a different language set. And I've realized that in my phase of life, I don't understand what these university kids, what their paradigm of life is. I don't understand what the young ones, how they see the world. I think I do as a parent, but not really. Darlene Haddad, one of the top psychologists, very much a humanist and cares about the compassion and making sure that the children grow confidently. James Nixon, look at him, former A380 pilot, captain of the Emirates double-decker plane, retired, wonderful motivator, wonderful learned man of many, many countries. He also throws lots of challenges to the young, also helps them, also brings his life experience, so reflects on what is going on. Ahmed Toho, our Somalian Australian. So he represents the compassion, but also the caring element, as he grew up in Somalia, but now resides in Australia. And Dr. Hema Rayner, US healthcare, knows all about methodologies and systems. So the kids or the young spend different times with these individuals to learn and also be taught wisdom and practical skills. That's a very unique element of our program, which I haven't seen anywhere else, because for us, that's a hidden value. So what have we learned by having a 10-week program with these young, developing their project, executing the project, providing project management? We found that their oral and written language and mathematics substantially improves. In fact, we push them as well. When somebody says, oh, it's like this and like that, and I've got this, we say, I'm sorry, I don't understand. What are you trying to convey? Please let us work together to come up with some word sets which they're familiar with, but more clearly delineates what their objectives are, what their feeling of the moment, and challenges they have in conducting the project. Project management. We ask them to plan their project. Now, of course, they don't have experience in that, and we help guide them. But by not giving them what to do, the template, but helping guide them, they get empowered. They then feel a lot more confident. They take control of their project. In fact, they then turn around and say, right, I want this, this, and this. Can you help me? I need some international connections in biogas circular economies. We have to speak to our friends around the world and find those contacts. Our primary school students will say, right, we want to do more interviews. Speak to your networks. We need some people from different parts of the world. We have to do that. Logic. We challenge them. Why are you doing your methodology in a particular way? What is it that you seek to achieve? Where's your evidence that that's the way you should be looking at it? Are there alternative options? We find that these questions are not used frequently in their day school. And because we are communicating in an English language, we therefore need to phrase and frame our mandate in that format. Now, of course, with my background, I'm interested in innovation, commercialization, wonderful entrepreneurship. But the others in the group, our cross-cultural team, said, Chris, beware, be prepared. There are some new surprises for you, some new learnings from this program. And I said, okay, I'm willing to learn. What are these surprises? The health impact. In the West, we have lots of problems where children have anxiety, depression, lack of confidence. In fact, if you ask them to conduct a simple assessment, they might vomit and they might not be at school and they might need psychologists, and several schools have psychologists now for the young ones, which it's phenomenal for me to learn. So their resilience is very, very poor compared to when we were going through. But by having a fun-based program, we have found a reduction in anxiety. How bizarre is that? A lot more confident. We have found more resilience in physical exercise. When I'm in physical exercise, playing with their friends in group activities, whether it's football, soccer, volleyball, netball, tennis, whatever the activities are, they stand up straight. They're more self-confident in both physical as well as mental. That was a surprise to me. Other members of my team said, we knew that. But that's the beauty of being part of a multidisciplinary group. Now, this is another one that was fascinating for me, the 360-degree impact. That's a term which is used to capture everyone around you. So as the young dream creators are flourishing in their project, they have a different impact with their fellow students. Their teachers look at them and say, wow, you've come a long way. You're speaking differently. You're writing more clearly. I understand your flow of comprehension. Your narratives are making sense now. You're using more adjectives, pronouns. Okay, that's a really good thing. The family. The family also has a closer bond because at the dinner table, when the kids are together with the parents, there's a different type of discussion. And there's a different type of interaction between the family. Friends see it as well, but importantly, community. Because we're all part of a community and these programs are never designed in isolation, nor should they be in isolation. We're finding that the young are becoming better community citizens, interacting with their neighbours and down in their faith environment. Now, I've missed empowerment and respect, not dream stealing. That's a great phrase which does not belong to me. It belongs to James Nixon, our A380 pilot. When he grew up, he was recounting stories of the teachers saying, oh, you know, you didn't do well in this subject, you'll never amount to anything. Oh, you know, other kids, yeah, they didn't do well, they're not going to amount to anything. Yet they've progressed to become leaders in society in their different fields, whether it's community affairs or professions or business or just good community people. And they all say the same thing. Whatever you do for this program, the idea is not to steal the dreams of the young, to say, oh, that can't be done. What are you doing? Just go back and read your books and don't bother. So empowerment and respect is a very important. Now, is it a byproduct? I don't think so. Is it a side effect, to put it in healthcare terms? I don't think so either. I think it all fits in like a good mix when you're making a cake. All the ingredients go in and they have the value, because we're talking at the outset about the English language and the teaching impact. But empowerment also feeds back into teaching content. Now, obviously, innovation, creativity, expansion of possibilities, my world, yes, we see it all the time. And we see wonderful opportunities. There are even several other countries that have said, we want this program. Can you contextualize it for our culture and our community? So not a problem on that one. So what does this program deliver? English language development at its core, better written skills, speaking more clearly, increased vocabulary, the thought process, logic and comprehension is much better. Now, we talked about health. We talked about community engagement as well. So this is a wonderful package that we are exploring and observing. And we thought we would communicate our learnings to this wonderful conference. And I have a picture of Melbourne there. Please come and visit us. We'd love to host you here and introduce you to our community. And thank you very much, and best wishes for the remaining sessions. Bye-bye.
Can we have the presentation?
Yes, that's the end of the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Halo Kak Aeni.
Sorry, that is my bad internet connection. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Chris.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay. Yes. Actually, we have a chance for every presenter. Maybe the participant is going to ask the question or giving the comment. Please, you may raise your hand or you may chat in the chat box if you don't mind to speak. Okay, releasing them.
Can I speak?
Yes, please,
Hello,
ma'am.
Ibu Aeni.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Eva.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chris. I just visiting your YouTube channel, and I'm looking the content. The contents are very inspiring. Even though I just what is it like peeping, but I think I'm looking forward to watch all the videos later because it is very inspiring for me as an educator. And Young Dream Creator, this is a program, and is it possible in case other institutions from different country also wishes to have a collaborations with your program, and in what term is the program will be?
Yes, absolutely. We are seeing that collaboration with other countries is what we would like to achieve as well. We can achieve, we can collaborate in two ways. We can achieve with schools, where this is part of a school program, or we can cooperate with schools where it's a separate and after-school program. So it depends. There are different formats. We have about 25 different small projects, some science, some maths, some English, some biology, and the kids plus the teacher will say, okay, well, can we try that one? And we can train you to say, this is what we do, and therefore you are able to deliver the program within your community and to modify it for your objectives. Because part of this program might be religious, faith-based. It could be that there's a wonderful celebration coming up and some of the kids would like to prepare something special. Well, that's a passion project. So again, it fits in very nicely. Others might have other issues that they would like to challenge. So we can provide some guidance. We can help deliver it. If you'd like some of it to be online, some of it to be face-to-face, we're flexible. And we have to be flexible because that's just how delivery works these days. As long as it's fun for the children and for the teachers, they also have strong guidance to help them. We think this will be a wonderful opportunity to make it locally relevant.
Yeah. In case we are very interested into the program, where should we find the link? Because I tried to find it in Google. I cannot meet the specific website.
We're a little bit cheeky. One of the videos has at the end of the videos on our YouTube channel, it has a QR code. Yeah, there's codes that you scan the phone, you fill in a form, and then Dr. Ria Ertz, who's a program leader, will contact you and speak with you and provide the next steps.
I see. So we cannot have like the website where we can see the the guidance of how to working with
not
the
yet.
program?
We will build a website later on, but at the moment it's very much targeted to either the students or the schools.
I
So
see.
we haven't created the website, but we are very happy to communicate with you and give you,
Okay.
we have more presentations, obviously, which has the process. We have brochures, we have everything. We can provide that
Yeah.
to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Ibu Eva.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Chris. What a sophisticated session. So maybe we'll still have another question. After that, we are going to move to the next presenter. Let me wait for one question or one comment. Okay. Yes, Dr. Chris, maybe for the next one, stay contact with us. So I'm so glad that you are coming here in this occasion. So there is no question anymore, but I hope you are happy to join in this session. What a great explanation for today and fruitful explanation. Thank you very much. We will see you in the next session. Thank you,
Doc.
Dr. Chris.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay, so now we move to the second presenter. Now we have Dr. Risa Triassanti, M.Pd. Ibu, are you in?
Yes, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Okay, so let me read briefly about your biography. Dr. Risa Triassanti, M.Pd. She's the head of English Department, University of Ronggolawe, Tuban, Indonesia. She's the head of English Education Study Program, and she had doctoral degree on English Language and Literature Department from Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Indonesia in 2019. She joined PKPI program at Ohio State University, USA, and she had presented in some international conferences at University of Pittsburgh, USA, Dublin International Conference, Online International Conference in some countries, and in many national conferences in Indonesia. Her research interests are linguistics, social linguistics, online evaluation, English teaching method, and interactive multimedia. So, Ibu Risa, the mic is yours. Please. You have 15 minutes to talk. After that, we are going to have a question and answer session. Please, Ibu.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Aeni. We meet again here.
Yes.
Good afternoon, happy audience. I would like to share my screen first. Okay, can you see my screen now? My PPT?
Yes.
Yes.
It's possible.
Yes, it is. Beautiful.
Yes. Today I will present the more practical thing about media in teaching English, especially 3D animation media for today and in the future of teaching English. Yesterday we have a presentation for the curriculum of English teaching in Indonesia, and also the teaching method and the teaching approach in Indonesia. Like now we use two types of method that is online and offline during this pandemic. And long before this pandemic, we need to create media, especially multimedia, but the force to create or to design is not like in this situation. So it is like a must for us to be creative, to use all of our efforts to create the best media, the interesting media that we can. And I think the government suggests for us as the teacher or as the lecturers to use blended learning, or we know as flipped class. So we combine between offline classroom or a direct meeting in class, and also online, maybe synchronous or asynchronous meeting. So we still need to design media for today and for a future of teaching English, to make our students motivated again to follow the English class. Maybe next semester, we hope that the condition will change. Yes, let's move to what is actually animation here, that we have to have the same idea of this that I present here is, it's simple, the pictures that appear and can move. That's the basic idea of what is animation. So it is not complicated things, yeah. Or it is a display of sequence of static images that create the illusion of motion. So anything that involves this definition are included into animation. I hope I can play this opening for you. It's my avatar. I usually use this character. I usually use this kind of opening or closing or to make my presentation live. Yes. Why do we need animation? What kind of benefits that we have if we create media of animation, especially 3D animation? Of course, it improves the skills of student as well as the teacher, because here the teacher is the creator, and also the student can be the creators too. So they can have a project to create animation 3D, can be in video or in a short film, or the teacher can create media. So here they improve the skill of speaking, the skill of writing, the skill of listening, and also reading. So we have to use our creativity to solve the problem while creating this kind of media. And of course, in creating this, we need to use our imagination, because we will create the story, how's the beginning of the story, and then how's the middle, how's the conflict in the story, or how we will end the story. So we also learn the concept. So it's like we become a YouTuber, for example. So they need a content creator, that concept, how to make the video become smooth, interesting, and easy to follow, and of course interesting for the audience, so the video is not boring. And interactive animation holds the audience attention. Of course, we move from text to picture and then to video. Of course, the last one, animation, will hold more attention from the student or from the audience. And animation is made for flexible, interactive way of learning, because we can use it everywhere, anywhere, anytime, because we can play it again, not only in the classroom, but also the student can watch the media in their very comfortable home, for example. And this builds interest in students wanting to learn more and motivates them, because sometimes I ask the student to use their experience and then to tell their story in the video that they made. And animation allows one to assess their skill and abilities, because in creating this media, they do like a trial and error. So if they think that they are not confident with the media, they can edit again and again. And in the last, so they are confident to publish. And animation provides real-to-life scenarios faced in daily life during learning. So if we make the video what is related to the life of the student or the story of teenagers, for example, that suitable for their age, so it will make them feel that, oh, it is near to my daily life, so they will be more motivated. And this learning use method of learning by viewing, doing, and coaching. Of course, here they can learn from the teacher, they can read the tutorial again and again, so it's like a self-coaching for the student. And in the last, animation adds fun to learning. They can create, they can watch video or dialogue and many things. We have many types of animation. I don't want you to imagine what kind of animation that I mean here. So this one, the first one is, I saw it in my childhood. Traditional animation that are very complicated and very difficult to make and need a skillful or expert to make it. And the second one is my favorite, 2D animation. The example is, Doraemon, and maybe Conan, Detective Conan, and this one is Snow White. It also became a very wonderful memory in my childhood. And now my kids see 3D animation, so we can see everywhere, starting from, I think, games or Mobile Legends, for example, or PlayStation. We can see the characters of 3D animation. And this picture is the example of Plotagon character. And this also popular now, motion graphic. It's quite simple, but it's interesting because of this simplicity. So it needs only some picture, and it moves one by one. So it's just a simple type of animation. It's not like 2D animation or 3D animation. And the last is stop motion. We can see the example in Shaun and the Sheep. The appearance is different because it's not quite smooth, but it becomes the unique characteristic of this type of motion. Usually, we can use it in education for 2D animation, 3D animation, and motion graphic too. It is also used in commercial purpose and also stop motion. But now, I don't want to make any picture of this. Yeah, in teaching, we don't have much time when we need to do courses to be expert to create this type of media. We just need to create a plot using simple application that everybody can make it only in 1 hour. Usually, I train my student in 2 or 3 meetings, and after that they can make themselves. And sometimes it's amazing that they are more creative than me. What can we do with 3D animation? If we have much time, we can create a long film, like a story of our daily life, or an interesting story, fantasy story. And usually in my class, I create short video that display or represent some expressions used. For example, how to invite someone, how to give permission or ask for permission, and just a short video that I need for every meeting. And it's very useful in my speaking class. And to create teaching material too in presentation, sometimes teacher feels not confident to show their face, or sometimes it's difficult for us to find a good model to speak English in our video. So I think the fast and simplest way to do it is by using animation. You just need to create the dialogue and then type it. And students project, it's also interesting that sometimes I ask them to create a video of short video of dialogues, and then they have to record their voice. So they will examine their own pronunciation and their grammar too. So they will listen again and again until they feel confident. Oh, sometimes they smile and then laugh at themselves, and that's fun. Oh, this is the real of my voice. And sometimes they are also surprised that, oh, my voice is nice. And then it is also used for commercial purpose, like marketing video. And we can see many advertisement use animation 3D. And educational content, it is popular now that people tend to use content in YouTube, usually funny story or educational content that is message for society, for example. And we can do all these things in simple way, because I'm not an expert of making animation. I will also share a practical thing about animation. And how's the good animation should be. Here, it should be slow in and slow out. It means that the movement is natural. It is not too fast. So the audience feel comfortable to see. And judge the timing of the movement. Timing is also the important aspect of creating animation, because we have to know what kind of action that match to the situation or to the conversation or dialogue. And of course, sometimes we need to use exaggeration in the heart of our media, because sometimes we add like a laugh, yeah, and then like clap hand or surprise. That makes the animation more interesting. And secondary action is also important. Sometimes we need to add more action beside the main action. And a character should have distinct from the other character. We remember that the character of Nobita, for example, in Doraemon, he always used t-shirt or yellow t-shirt to all of the series of Doraemon. So that's become the characteristic of him, the identity of Nobita. And also staging must visually related. So we have to choose the background, which one that is suitable for our story. And what application can we use here? You can download the Plotagon Studio for PC. This is a business version here, but some features are free, so you can still use it if you are comfortable to use PC. But I prefer to use the second one, Plotagon Studio for Android. You can download from Play Store. Mostly are free, but sometimes I subscribe, but that's very cheap with the big advantages. So I usually use Android to create story. And plot icon is simple. Many features are free, easy editing tools, colorful visual, and then many background scenes. Characters can be made by ourselves. We can use our avatar, and voice recording option. So we don't only use the voice from the machine, but also from ourselves. And it's also easy sharing. We can publish to any social media like Telegram, like WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and we can easily share to our students especially. And to prepare, first step is creating story wording. So usually I use it for long video or a long film, but for short video, I just need set of dialogues and then type. We need to give the title of the video and then the scene 1, scene 2, because in long film, we need many scenes, but in dialogue, just 2 or 3 scenes is enough, because sometimes the student memory of cell phone is quite limited, so we have to limit also the duration. And we need to choose the background, the music, and the sound, and then decide the actor, position of the actors, and then the dialogue that match to this, and then the action. We can combine many scenes in one video, and the quality is very good, I think. Okay, this one is the step of doing plot icon, and then you can see here upon plot icon application, the picture is like this, and then tap. This is the example of picture from PC, not from Android, and then tap to create button, and also tap on the character link. First, we need to create character or choose the character from the list. And here we can create new character. And also here is the sex, yeah, where is male or female, and then skin color, hairstyle, clothes, yeah, accessories, shoes, and then the voice. And we can skip if we finish. And then the last, we name the character. If we're ready and happy with the character, then done button. And then let's start with the creating of the plot. Yeah, first is just the background here. This is the picture that you can tag. And then the second one, the bubble, is to write the dialogue. Here you can record your own voice, or you can use the voice from the machine if you don't have much time to record. And this one is the symbol of the action that we will use, whether it's claps hand or turn left, turn right. And then this one is for the sound as the background. And the next is the music. We need to be the background. Be careful with the music to set. We have to set the volume. And then the last is the text. So in the first or in the beginning or in the middle of the video, we can insert the text as a description or explanation of the video. Well, let's create new plot button here. Then choose the background, tap the location. From the list, there are many locations that match to our theme of video. And then write the dialogue like this. We will see the preview in the side of the text, and then continue by adding new speech bubble if we want. And this is the action, like pushing, something like that. And then when our story finishes, we can preview. If we are not confident, we can repeat again, we can edit again, and then publish it or send to any medias. Okay, this is the end of my presentation.
Hello, Dr. Aeni.
Okay,
No, still.
moderator. Yeah.
Yes.
Do I have time to play the example or not?
Okay, you still have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. I have some examples made by my students. First, because I promised to them to play here. Okay, please wait. I hope that the connection is okay. Yeah, it is made by Cynthia, Novia, and Lucy. So this is their project in my class level 1. So they have to make teaching media explaining about cooperative method. So they insert the video they have made from taken, and then that have the explanation of the text like this. For the connection.
Okay, maybe while waiting for Ibu Trisa share the video, the participants who wants to ask question or give the comment, please, you may raise your hand.
Okay. Yes, this one is example, and they need 2 meetings only to create this video. Okay, I think that's enough. You can see the other media on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for watching.
Yes, what a tremendous session, Ibu Risa Triassanti. It was amazing. We're still waiting for the question or comment that you want to give for Ibu Risa. Maybe the participants is going to deliver the question. Please raise your hand.
I give my comment on the chat box, Ibu
yes.
Nur Aeni.
Okay, like no problem that you can. All right, let me find. Yes, Ibu Eva, the same with you, ma'am. Our students do better than us in this case. At first, I'm afraid to give this kind of assignment to my students, especially for reading class, because I think it will be too difficult. Amazingly, they can make a very great animation based on to the text that they read. So you did the same thing, and then our students or your students did beyond your expect.
Yes.
Yeah, Ibu Eva, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Ibu Eva, for your comment, for your sharing. Okay. Ibu Risa Triassanti, I think there is no question. Maybe they can contact you later about the question, or if they want to share about or ask about the idea that you have told before.
Excuse me, Dr. Aeni.
Yeah, Pak Andi Sadopotto, please.
Okay. Actually, Dr. Trisna got some question from the chat, I think. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Dr. Chris,
Dr. Chris and Dr. Risna, Risa Triassanti.
That's Ibu Risa is
The speaker.
Yeah, the speaker.
Let me see.
Christina.
Okay, let me help you, Dr. Nur Aeni.
Okay.
Actually, this question about
from Ibu Suraya,
yeah, I think so.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, 3 factors.
Okay. Follow the permanent. Is that follow the permanent curriculum or make material based on the students' needs?
It is for
And
Dr. Chris.
Ibu Suraya say that which one is more useful? Is that the question?
The question is about
Yeah.
it. 3 factors in successful teaching and learning are media, material, student, and lecture. So what do you think about this statement? Yes,
very good question. I see the question. So one aspect of teaching is, of course, media, interesting media. But to make ideal teaching learning process, of course, we need to involve all factors. The first thing is the teachers, and also the material that given by the teacher, the content of the material, and of course the interaction between the students, and also the interaction between the students and the teachers, and also the assessment of the teachers, or the other thing, and many things, student motivation, and then teaching method, teaching approach. So all will determine the success of teaching and learning process. And here I emphasize or focus on media in teaching as one of important aspect in teaching, but all are important. Maybe the other presenters will explain about it.
Happy to expand. I sit on a school board in Australia. It's a faith-based school, but independent. And the principal said, you have to make sure you always look after the teachers, because yes, there's wonderful technologies, but if the teachers don't know how to use the technologies and communicate it properly to the students, then you have a problem. So wonderful presentation from Risa. But what I learned from my discussion with the principal is that make sure the teachers know how to use the new technologies and be very comfortable, and because they're the ones who have to then deliver it to the students.
Yes, I really agree with you, Mr. Chris. Here also we done many workshops to train teachers to create media using video, some application, because we have to move from our traditional classroom. So in Indonesia, many teachers are still learning to create media using technology. And of course, I agree with you. We have to think about how the teacher can feel comfortable with the media, can use the media that what is matched to the students' ability, the students' environment, and also we have to know that what is their interest, like the character, which one that they don't like the character. We have to think about their interest too. Thank you very much for your sharing, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Chris. Thank you very much for your sharing, for your great session. And thank you, Ibu Risa Triassanti.
Yes, you're welcome.
Great idea. Okay, I think that is the question for you, right? That's the last question. If I'm not mistaken, let's see the chat box. Yes, that's the last question. Thank you very much for Ibu Risa Triassanti. Thank you, Dr. Chris. Now we move to the next presenter.
Excuse me, Dr. Nur Aeni.
Yes.
We still have one question.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Dr. Chris, I think. Okay, please pay attention in chat. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Okay. Which one is more important between the permanent curriculum or the material that designed from the students' need? I think that the question from Suraya Al-Mahdali.
Okay, thank you, Pak Andi Sadopotto. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you are welcome.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, the question goes to Dr. Chris. Okay, yeah. Please, Dr. Chris.
I think that the curriculum is a very important baseline document. Like a house, think of it like a house. It has a wonderful function, it has different rooms, but occasionally some rooms need to be made bigger or have extra windows or have electricity or other functions. So I think that we need to slightly modify curriculum, not change 100%, never, but make sure that we look at what the community needs, what the teachers are seeing as problem areas, and make slight changes. So, for example, with our program, we are working with schools to add it within particular subjects, within particular objectives of a curricula, not replacing anything. Just instead of doing particular types of projects, then they do our type of project. So it's not a swap. It's a modification. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Chris, for your answer. Ibu Suraya, is that answer your question, Ibu? Okay. Okay. Thank you anyway. Thank you, Pak Andi Sadopotto, for reminding me, for helping me.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Chris. And now we move to the next presenter. Welcome to Dr. Andi Sadopotto, M.Pd. Bapak Andi Sadopotto, okay. He's a lecturer of English Education Department of Muhammadiyah University of Sidenreng, Rappang, Indonesia. His areas of interest and research include teaching media, TEVL, linguistics and multilingual education. He graduated from STK IPYP Makassar in English Language and Linguistics. He graduated his master at Hasanuddin University and doctoral degree from Universitas Negeri Makassar, Indonesia. He has joined the short course in Northern Illinois University, USA, and he has published some books and many articles in TEVL, ICT in language learning and multilingual teaching and learning. And he had become a member of ICA TEVL Asia Nivel, and he is a reviewer and editor in some local and international journals. So, Bapak Andi Sadopotto, Bapak Dr. Andi Sadopotto, M.Hum, the mic is yours.
Yes.
Okay. Please, Pak.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The second, I would like to also say my profound gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us a good opportunity so we can assemble in this good place. Salawat and taslim for Prophet Muhammad SAW, the last prophet who has spoiled Kafirun plague and maintained Islamic plague all over the world. Okay, now I would like to present my research. The title of my research is The Percentage of a Speech Error Analysis of American Presidents. Okay. Actually, this research aims to analyze the kinds of error morphology in English speech of American president and to know the percentage of morphological error in English speech of American president. The method that apply in this research is qualitative method, which the data of the study described based on the real data. Means I get the data from some speech YouTube, the presidents of America. Actual reality in the form of spoken language and analyze the interpreted with the object to the described in the form of word and language. And the result of this study saw that English speech of American presidents still found some error in morphology, even though they are native speakers. Okay, let me show the data. Actually, they have made a fixes, a prefix, a suffix error. Besides that, some of the president also made errors in pre-morphemes, bound morphemes, and compound. The researcher was founded 16 errors totally, and the case consists of 19 point blah 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 errors in pre-morphemes. But 56 blah 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 errors in a bound morphemes. Okay, we can say in this the data. Okay, from for example, pre-morphem and bound morphem, we get more than 12 frequency of error. While in affixes that consists of prefix, suffix, and compounding, we get here 4 error. Okay, and then we come to the discussion. The researcher found some data which show that morphological error in English speech of American president, morphological error in a speech of American president include error in pre-morphem, error in bound morphem, error in affixes. There are prefix, suffix, and compound. Next, in this field of research, there were 6 types of errors. Identify morphological error. They were pre-morphems, bound morphems, affixes, prefix, suffix, and compound. From the result finding above, the researcher was found the total of error more than 59%. This is my conclusion. Actually, the researcher concluded in English speech of American president still found error in morphological, even though they are a native speaker. So I would like to emphasize that even the speaker of the native still we can find out some errors. Okay, yeah, I think enough. Thank you, Dr. Nur Aeni.
Okay, Bapak. Dr. Andi Sadopotto, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, for the fruitful explanation for today. Looking at the chat box, maybe there is a question over there, but I want to remind the participants, if you want to ask the question, you may directly unmute yourself and then speak. Or maybe you want to give a comment about Bapak Dr. Andi.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Yes. Bapak
Okay.
Andi said, yeah. Can I ask you a question, sir?
Okay, please.
Yes. Regarding the title that you choose, just wondering, why are you interested in dealing with this case, and especially for American president? Why don't you choose another country? Would you mind to say, please?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, we have to realize that American is the second split out of English. The start from England, then move to the North Americans. That's why I choose American. A speaker is how to say, to find the data about their speech, and then I inform for President of America from the recording in YouTube, and then I got some mistake from their speech, especially in morphology mistake. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Bapak Dr. Andi Sadopotto.
Hello, dear moderator.
Yes.
I guess, is it okay for me if I'd like to comment on what Pak Andi Sadopotto present?
Yes.
Because I think it's a nice topic to discuss related to linguistic. Is it right? Linguistic.
Okay, that's right.
Okay, that's right. But you know, if we relate to like the teaching of linguistic in our campus, for example, that you know, if I'm not mistaken, that you know, students who learn linguistic like grammar or something, they said that's a kind of boring activities. So, but I'm so proud of you because you are you are giving us example on how to deal with a linguistic problem, and you have done research based on the research. So if you can give a piece of advice to the students, what should they do to overcome like the boredom in learning linguistic? Yeah, they feel bored with that.
Okay, yeah. Dr. Aeni, can I directly answer that question, Doctor?
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah.
Please,
okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Actually, even we are education major, but we try to combine between linguistic and applied linguistic in our curriculum. Yeah, so that's why, for example, some branches of linguistic in our curriculum, like morphology, phonology, sociolinguistic, psycholinguistic, semantic, pragmatic, and neurolinguistic. We try to combine this knowledge with applied linguistic material, like speaking, reading, listening, and writing. Okay, thank you. So we try to combine this curriculum. Okay, so we hope, the lecturer hope that the competence of our students can be better than before by focusing or combining the curriculum between linguistic and applied linguistic. Thank you.
So you mean we don't need to focus on teaching grammar particularly, but we teach grammar combined with other skills, something like that?
Okay, let me give you example. For example, we give the students grammar and morphology. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. The second example, pragmatic, semantic and pragmatic. Okay, we try to combine the material like that. Okay, not only one but two. But the most important things about fly linguistic itself. Okay, like speaking, we still focus on every semester we give the students about four skill of from applied linguistic. I mean.
okay. That's great. Thank you very much, Dr. Andi.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Wafi, for your question and sharing.
May I ask
Thank
a
you.
question, Dr.
Okay.
Nuraini?
Okay, please, Ibu.
Okay, thank you for the time. Good afternoon, Andi. Yeah, Andi, this is very interesting topic. I wonder, is it possible for us to see that that a sort of mistake probably it occurs from their habits in doing that. Now, because it is from their habit, can we consider that data or that fact as their non-formal way in communication? Is it okay, or we still have to say that that's not a good way in making words in English? Thank you. That's my question.
Okay, Dr. Aeni, Dr. Yudi,
Yep.
I think, okay, the main aim of the research is to assess the competence of the native speaker in speech itself. So by knowing this, this research result, automatically this is as a motivation, can motivate us or students to speak a lot, because even the native speaker also make a mistake in producing their utterance. Okay, this is really support us to speak more and better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Bapak Dr. Andi Sadopotto, Ibu Yuni. Does that answer your question? Okay, so I think that's enough for Bapak Dr. Andi Sadopotto session. Yes, let me see. Okay, there is no more question. So I thank you very much to Bapak Dr. Andi Sadopotto for your great and informative session for today. Thank you. I hope we will have or we will meet in another session. Thank you, Bapak.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aeni.
Thank you. Then we are going to move to the next presenter. We have Ibu Dr. Yuni Utami Asih, M.Pd. She is the head of English Department, Mulawarman University, East Kalimantan. Welcome, Ibu.
Thank you, Ibu.
Yes. Let me read your short biography. Ibu Yuni Utami Asih obtained her doctoral degree from State University of Surabaya, Indonesia. Currently, she is a lecturer of English Department of Mulawarman University, Samarinda, is Borneo, and where she teaches such as a course as Introduction to Linguistics, English Phonology, Sociolinguistics, and Micro-Teaching. Since 2018, she has been appointed as one of regional facilitators in Pintar program, funded by Kanoto Foundation, and assigned as one of national facilitators since 2019. Very recently, she has joined Biro Bebras Unmul to promote computational thinking, especially under the framework of literacy and language learning context. So, Ibu from Mulawarman University, ya. So, salam untuk Bapak di sana. Okay, but without any further ado, the mic is yours, Ibu Yuni Utami Asih, please.
Thank you so much, Ibu Dr. Nuraini. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Ibu dan Bapak. First of all, I would like to send my sincere gratitude to the board of the committee. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, I'd like to share what I have prepared. Wait a second. Okay.
Kreatif banget.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, this afternoon, I would like us to see the classes we teach or classes we attend, and look further to some points about activating students' computational logic. So, let me start from this point as the background. I believe that this chart is quite familiar. This is P21st frameworks for 21st century learning. It is the frameworks were developed with input from various stakeholders, such as teachers, education experts, and global business leaders. They gathered to define and illustrate the skills and knowledge that student needs to succeed in work and life. In Indonesia, this framework, part of this framework is very popular, especially for the 4C, the critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity part, because these four C's have been included in the curriculum from elementary to high school level. What about in higher education level in Indonesia? If we look at panduan, the guidance to develop a study program curriculum published in 2020, the ministry has included 2 more C's to be achieved for students from university level, the graduates from university, especially at least from the S1 program, the bachelor. Oh, sorry. Yeah, those two C's are the computational logic and compassion. But in this opportunity, I will focus on the computational logic. Before we go on to the computational logic, we have to address at least these 3 questions. The first is, what is active learning? And then what is computational logic? And then how do we activate students while they are learning computational logic in EFL class, especially in EFL class? Okay, actually I have prepared something for this. I don't know whether we can have this. I think I'm going to skip this mentees part. I have prepared 4 pages on mentees, but let's just go on to the next slide. I'm afraid.
Can you please put the last slide again?
I think we are going to skip those part, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm afraid that we.
No, the slide before it.
This one.
Before this.
This one.
No. This one. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, we are going to focus on.
Thanks.
Okay, then. Can I
go
on?
Yes, you can carry on.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, we'll skip the connection. Yeah, this chart is also very popular. I'm sure that we have been.
Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, we've.
No. You can.
Sorry, ma'am.
Me? Okay, you can continue, ma'am.
Okay, then. Yeah. This chart, and I think we agree that active learning is better than passive one. From this cone, this chart, or it is called Dale's cone of learning, or some also name this as cone of experience. we can see that learning experience will be acknowledged as active if the activities provide students or learners with some opportunities to at least say what they are learning, such as by doing discussion or giving a talk. And it will be much better if the students can say and do what they learn, such as doing some experiments or doing the real thing. The question is, how can we categorize our teaching activities as active learning? Bonwell and Eisen describe active learning strategies as instructional activities involving students in doing things and thinking about what they are doing. So those two components those two components must be included if you want to be acknowledged as having active learning class. So students not only doing things, but they really understand what they are doing and the purpose. So this chart is taken from Fink, 2003. This diagram, this chart presents a holistic view of active learning. It offers a useful conceptualization and a more expansive definition of the idea. There are three core components in active learning. The first is, we can start the first from the bottom left of the model, about the informations and ideas that students might get information. There are two types of informations, that the primary and secondary sources, whether it's from the teacher or from the experts, that we invite the expert to the class, or from the environment around the class. And then they can assess the information and ideas in the class, outside the class, online, offline. So for example, like having sources from the YouTube, probably from media produced by Ms. Risa, Triassanti students. They can also be used as sources of information and ideas. And then the second important core is the experiences. This experience can be acquired by the students by doing two activities. The first is doing itself, like having experiment, or if it is not possible for the teacher to do the experiment, like for example, with a limitation of the facility, we can replace that with other activities, that is observing. So students can observe, for example, if we talk about nuclear, it's so difficult for us to go to what is it, like a nuclear facility, but we still can get the information from YouTube also.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Dr. Yuni, you still have 3 minutes to go.
Oh, okay then. Okay, then the last one is the reflective one. Okay. Okay, now what about the computational thinking? Computational thinking, a brief description about computational thinking is that it is the process that can help us to solve complex problems and create system. Okay, let me go on quickly. There are four cornerstones. The first is the abstraction, not the first, actually this four cornerstone must go together. We cannot see them as, we don't have to see them as a sequence, but just put it in order like this, and you don't have to make it like the abstraction must come first. No, it's not like that. So the cornerstones are abstraction, and then pattern recognition, and then algorithm and decomposition. What are they? Decomposition, pattern recognition is when we ask students to see the similarities among sentences, for example, when we teach them grammar. Okay, and then algorithm deals with developing a step-by-step solution to the problem, or making the rules for certain system. And then decomposition is when we ask students to break down complex problem into smaller, so they can manage smaller parts to solve the problem. Another point that we also need to consider is these two issues, whether we are going to teach deductively or inductively. These two are also quite old basic approach in teaching. Yeah, in deductive is when, deductive is when we start from the rules. We explain, like for example, grammar. We explain the grammar first, the rules first, and then we ask students to make sentences. In inductive way, we start by giving them the examples, and then we ask them to find what kind of rules govern those examples. So they find the rules by themselves. Wait a second. This is actually like a mini proposal about how we apply that in our class. It is adapted from Mikir concept developed by Program Pintar of Tanoto Foundation. The first is we ask students to do an experiment or observation. This is called doing. And then the next is students discuss their ideas in pair or small groups. This is where they can interact each other. And then the third is students show their work to bigger audience. For example, after they finish the project and they make an exhibition, or they put the result of their work on YouTube. This is the way they communicate. And then the last one sometimes that we forget is to give them opportunity to do some reflection. At least we can cover these three question, whether what they have understood from today's lesson, and then what they are still confused about, and how did they feel during the lesson. Okay, this is one example of how we teach procedural text in early, in the beginner level of English, because a computational thinking is not limited for, or is not only for high for university level students, but actually computational thinking can be taught to very early level in education, because the concept is we are doing the concept every day. But in class, for example, if we teach procedural text, after the teacher introduces the topic, the teacher don't have to explain about, the teacher doesn't have to explain that procedural text is blah, 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 and so on. But we can ask students to read a text, about certain procedure, and then, or they can watch someone doing a certain procedure, and then we can ask them to think about what the person or the movie, or the video clip is about, and then they will get the answer. Like, they can come up with their own definition about procedural text. The teacher only showed them, look at this text, okay, now let's read together. This is the example of procedural text. So can you make your own definition about procedural text? So students will learn how to make their own definition, not by searching from Google, but from their own observation. And then after that, usually in a field, many times I found teachers, even the senior teachers, they explain the structure, and the procedural text must have A, B, C, and so on. But in inductive, if we want to make it really active class, we should ask students to identify the structure by themselves. So teachers can help students, for example, by giving them guidance. Look at this part, look at the first and the second, for example. Look at the first part of the text. What is it? So student will identify. Students will identify, oh, that's the title, and then, oh, that must be the instruction or the description about the text. And then until they finish finding the structure of the text, but not they don't get it from the teacher, they get it from their own observation, and so on. So but it's very common here in Indonesia. I don't know where about in other countries where English is not the native language, that here in Indonesia many teachers still do that, explaining, reading, the teachers read the definition and then explain the structure, and then the students were just seeing or taking notes from the teachers. I don't know whether it can be categorized as active learning. Yeah. As a conclusion, actually, jump to the conclusion. Computational thinking can be taught from early education level. Although in formal regulation in Indonesia, the word computational logic is put on the higher in university level. But actually, it can be done still from early education level, even from kindergarten. And then combining computational thinking and inductive active learning might leverage students' competencies. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Dr. Yuni. Thank you. What a great explanation for today and a great talk. Before I invite the participants to ask the question or giving the comments for Ibu Dr. Yuni, let me conclude your presentation that you have mentioned that doing, interacting and communicating, and the last one is reflecting. That's what we got from your explanation today. And before I invite the participant to ask a question, let me please go to the next presenter. So the participants, you may ask the question later after the presentation from the next presenter, Ibu Candidate Dr. Budiasih, S.Pd, M.Hum. Are you there, ma'am? Budiasih?
Okay, yes, I'm Dr. Nuraini. I'm here.
Okay. So the participants, you may ask later the question after Ibu Budiasih have presented the session. Okay, so let me read the short biography from Dr. Candidate Budiasih, S.Pd, M.Hum. She is the head of English Department, State Islamic University of Raden Mas Said, Surakarta, Indonesia. And she was born in Sleman, Yogyakarta. She obtained her bachelor degree in English education from Sanata Dharma University. She finished her master degrees at 11 Maret University, majoring linguistics. She currently works as an English lecturer at State Islamic Institute of Surakarta and being in position as the head of English department. She is interested in language education science. So Ibu Budiasih, the mic is yours, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Dr. Nuraini. Okay, everyone who are in this room. Okay, let me share my PowerPoint first. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I would like to have this discussion about shaping teachers' quality in 21st century language learning. Okay, why I emphasize on teacher here actually because although we are now in a very digital technology, but the teacher has a very important role in education, and language teachers should be ready for something unpredictable. For example, starting from last year in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic breaks in every country in the world. So as the teacher, they should be ready with this condition to change the way they teach. And why teachers? If we are talking about technology, the students can learn anything from here. They can be autonomous learners, but they still need teachers. Among the education process, teacher is the most important component. Teachers shape and reshape the learning results. Failures and success of educational rely on teacher. Teachers have to know their roles. Okay, this is why I'm interested in discussing about shaping the teacher's quality, because those reasons. Okay, if we are talking about 21st century skills, surely we are connected with the power of technology. Everyone has this as the part of his or her life. So teachers should be aware of it too. Then, sorry. Okay. What the teacher, where is the position of the teacher actually? Some of the teacher for this time, they are in the position of teacher in digital immigrants, and the students are in the digital natives or neo-millennial learners. So there is a gap between the native learners, digital natives, and the teachers who are immigrants from less digital native into the real world right now, which is we have to deal with the technology in education. So the position or the gap is like this. Some teachers are still in this part. Probably the younger teachers are quite fast to follow or to adjust the condition of the technology. For example, if the role of the native learner, they comfortable in virtual and real spaces, some teachers comfortable in real spaces. So in this real time in pandemic, the teachers seems to be very, some teachers seem to be very confusing how to manage everything while they are not meet the students face to face. They have to change everything, and sometimes they are not prepared with this. So, but they have to, yeah. And then this one, the need for the change. The position of the teachers as the technology immigrants, they have to change, yeah, the way, the role of teaching, yeah. Because the position of the students and the technology as part of the life of the students and teacher right now, yeah, should be closer to the technology. And there are, this is very common that the function of the teachers, of course, they have to teach the students, but there is a difference between teaching in the past and today. Yeah. According to research, yeah, effective language teaching today is seen both as a pedagogical issue as well as organizational one. So this is not only in the classroom, there are not only teachers, methods, course design, and tests. Not only that, but how the teacher can see the real condition, what is really needed by the students in the real world, in the condition, in the context. And then, okay, this is the 21st century critical learning innovation skill. Communication and collaboration, communicate clearly, collaborate with others, critical thinking, and problem solving, creativity, and innovation. I think almost all of us very familiar with all of this. But what I would like to share with for me, this is, I think this is very good as a teacher. In 21st century pedagogy, this is what the teacher should realize or should understand about this. The teacher have to...
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes?
Can you please put it on a slideshow?
Okay.
With F5.
Okay.
The slide is...
Yes, wait. Okay. Okay, wait. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, visible. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, this one. Yeah, the 21st century pedagogy. This is the change. Yeah, from the past and to the 21st century pedagogy. That it should build the technological information and media fluencies. Okay, the teacher should adjust with this and teach contextually where, when, and who they are teaching. Probably the place, the context in, for example, in Madura is different from Solo, probably. Yeah, and then 21st century pedagogy are interdisciplinary. This is not monodisciplinary, but inter. So many kinds of science can be combined into teaching, learning in the classroom. And the teacher should work with students and other teachers collaboratively and use project-based learning, because this is the way to give the students experience to the object that they are learning, and then foster problem solving, because students actually or learners actually are living in society, and they will face many problems over there, and the teacher should assess the students' competence transparently, and the teacher should develop thinking skills. Okay, this is what the teachers in 21st century pedagogy should understand about this. Okay, I think, yeah. And what should the teacher do? Of course, developing knowledge, skills, and awareness in teaching. There are some elements, yeah. What should the teachers do? But I will skip this. Also, this one, it is very common. What should the teachers do in the classroom? And but I will pay attention to this. That according to Kumara Padivelu, now in post-method pedagogy, the teacher is having the independency to manage the classroom. Yeah. So post-method pedagogy, yeah, supports student learning in real situation. So based on the teacher's experience, yeah, they can apply teaching methods suitable for teaching situation. Yes, in the previous statement, I said that probably how the teacher should teach the students in Madura is different from Solo, probably, because this is the context. Yeah. And then, okay, there are three aspects which is underlined by Kumara Padivelu. The first is particularity. Particular means that when the teacher teach the learner, it depends on the teaching situation, where, when, to whom they are teaching. And then practicality. Practical means it should be applicable to real situations. All of the things should be applicable in real situation, or the students can make meaning with the learning. And then the possibility, yeah, because the method should be appropriate socially, culturally, and politically. It means that, yeah, the method, yeah, can be applied in a certain context. Okay, this one, post method teacher. There is still one indicator, the characteristics. The teacher should be the adapter. The technology is changed. The way to teach the students or the learner is changed. So the teacher should adapt with the situation. They have to learn. They have to know what curriculum is appropriate to the students. And then the communicator. The teacher should have the ability to communicate with the teacher, with the learners, also the learners. The teacher is also the learner because they have to learn about anything because the dynamic of the science, that's not static but dynamic. And the visionary. Okay, good teacher can predict what happens in the next. So what happens today and tomorrow? What should they prepare for the next? If they understand about this, I think the unpredictable problem can be solved by the teacher. And then the leader, they have to have the ability to lead the classroom. And then the model here means that he has something to be the students can learn from the teacher, or the teacher can give something influential with and beneficial for the learner. And then the collaborator, this is the characteristics that the teacher should have, because for the technology era like this, everything works in collaborative way. They have to work together. And then the risk taker. The teacher should try something which is new. Okay, and one more, which is suggested by Suarsih Madya. The teacher, the characteristics of the teacher as the navigator. The teacher should have the ability to navigate the learners to find any sources, and then because if we talk about knowledge, this is something ocean which are full of the things over there, many things there, and then the teacher should give the correct way to find that they are really should have. Okay, and then okay, I think that's all, Ibu Dr. Nur Aeni. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ibu. Thank you, Ibu Budiasih, for your presentation today. What a fruitful explanation. So now we are waiting for the participants. Please give a question or comments for both the presenters. The last two presenter, Ibu Dr. Yuni Utami Asih and Ibu Candidate Dr. Budiasih, M.Hum. Please, you may unmute yourself if you are eager to ask questions or give some comments for the great.
Okay, me, Dr. Nur Aeni.
Yes, please, Bapak Dr. Andi Sadopotto, please. The mic is.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Actually, this question for Dr. Yuni Utami. Yeah, actually, Dr. Yuni Utami emphasized only in logical competence. But actually in education, we realize that there are some competence must be owned by students, even also teachers. Okay, the first is like a social competence, professional competence, pedagogic competence, and what is the ones? Kompetensi, kompetensi kepribadian. Okay, so why Dr. Yuni Utami only emphasize in one side of competence itself? Okay, the second question to Dr. Budiasih. Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Budiasih, actually, okay, this is about the educator characteristic nowadays must be owned by the teacher, not only the teacher, but all of practitioners. Okay, actually in some models or characteristic they show in this slide, actually you can find out like a validator, evaluator, the real function of the teacher itself. Okay, my question is why? Okay, you only emphasize in some like adapter, communicator, learner, visionary, leader model, collaborative, risk taker, but where's the function of evaluator? Okay, because that is the main function of us as a teacher. Okay. Okay, and the second question for you about effective language teaching. Okay. Okay, what do you mean about this? Because there is no fixed method to make our students or class more effective. It is based on the situation or condition. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Can I answer directly, Ibu Dr. Nurai?
Yes, please, ma'am, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Andi Sadopotto. Yeah, sir. Actually, those I believe that there are many aspects played equal importance. Yeah, equal position. If we see whether which one is more important, that's very difficult. But why I emphasize my presentation on computational logic is because we cannot. Although actually computational logic or computational thinking is not a brand new issue in the education, but however, the development of this thing in Indonesia, especially in most part of Indonesia, is still very, very, very dissatisfying. The indicator, the latest indicator, not really new, but a few years ago, we found that from PISA, our number, the ranking of our country in PISA is very low. Even the students couldn't answer simple questions, couldn't solve simple problems. And I think that's why, for me, it's very important if we really want to compete to other country in this very rapid development of technology. We have to strengthen our students by give them computational logic. Computational logic itself is not really a skill that we can train them in a short time. No, it requires very patience and a long way to make them familiar in the way of thinking, because computational thinking is unlike speaking, unlike grammar that we can teach them once. They might remember that. We can teach them one day. They can apply that for 1 or 2 weeks. But in computational thinking, probably we have to work for 3 months only to train them something basic about that. So that's why me and also my colleagues here on Bebras, we also we have like a new collaboration with Bebras Indonesia, one of a community that focus on computational thinking, developing computational thinking in Indonesia. This is one of international community, but we have also in Indonesia. So in Kalimantan Timur, Mulawarman University has started to focus on this part also this year. That's my answer, Pak Andi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Andi, for very challenging questions. Okay. You said that the characteristics of the teacher actually commonly as the evaluator, the facilitator, the curriculum developer. Yes, they are the basic characteristics of the teacher. They have to have that characteristics. But what I'm discussing here is actually about how the teacher adjust with the condition in this time, in this era, that the need to change from methods pedagogy into post-method pedagogy. They have to have some characteristics based on the context in the world. And then, the second question about there is no effective method or way of teaching. Okay, that's why I'm agreeing with Kumara Fadivelu's theory of post-method pedagogy, that actually there is no one thing which is effective, but there are three aspects in teaching that the teacher can develop, namely particularity, and then practicality and possibility. The teacher can use those three aspects in when, where, and whom, and the context they are teaching. Thank you very much, Pak Andi.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Budiasih.
Okay, Dr. Nur Aeni, excuse me, Dr. Nur Aeni.
Yep.
Actually, I still confused about 21 centuries education characteristic that saw by Dr. Budiasih. Actually, you don't include the educator and evaluator in that point, in that characteristic. My question is why? The main function of teacher is as an educator and evaluator, but you try to eliminate the two functions. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak. Actually, here in the previous I mentioned the 21st century pedagogy, that the teacher should assess the classroom instruction transparently, and then thinking skill. They have to develop thinking skill. This is the 21st century pedagogy. And how should the teacher as the evaluator and then the facilitator are the basic characteristics of the teacher. Yeah, but what I want to emphasize actually is about how the teacher adapt with the condition of the 21st century pedagogy. But thank you very much. I will add that idea. Yes, I have to add the basic first, before I go into the development. Okay.
Okay,
thank you, Pak Andi.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good criticism. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nur Aeni.
Okay,
thank you
for your great question and input actually for all of us. Thank you very much, Ibu Budiasih, and thank you very much to Ibu Dr. Yuni Utami Asih. Thank you for your great presentation today and in this session. Well, Ibu Budiasih is the last presenter or the last distinguished presenter for today. So we would like to end this great session. But don't worry, we still have one day. Tomorrow we are going to meet you again. So please stay tuned tomorrow. So I thank you so much to all the distinguished speakers for today's session. Dr. Chris, Dr. Andi Sadopotto, Dr. Risa, and Dr. Yuni Utami and Ibu Budiasih. Thank you very much for for joining this session, and we are thrilled to have you in this occasion. Thank you so much. Now that's the end of this session. I'm Dr. Nur Aeni. Say thank you very much for your kind attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and we'll back to the host, Brother Abdul Wafi. Thank you.
Okay, terima kasih Bu Dr. Nur Aeni.
Thank you Ibu, sama-sama.
Ya, semoga bantuannya hari ini diberkahi Allah.
Amin. Ya Rabbal
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nur Aeni, for helping us in succeeding this valuable opportunity to have this mega lecture talk too. And for everyone who joined and taking part in this session. So again, from the committee, would like to say thank you very much. And we are waiting for your coming again for tomorrow. Don't forget at the same time, and I think with the same link. And make sure that you fill the link of the certificate for today's session, because probably day one, I mean yesterday, some participants got trouble in their certificates. Okay, see you and meet again tomorrow in the same time and the same channels. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mbak, Bu Iva mau foto-foto dulu apa gimana?
Boleh.
Foto.
Silakan dibuka videonya semua.
Silakan kameranya, kamera on.
Belum HP, Pak Fi.
Ada Pak Baidawi. Oh, Pak Baidawi siap-siap besok.
Sudah di foto, Fi?
Screenshot Pak Fi, jangan difoto.
Abah.
Ketahuan kameranya Bu Eva.
Yo. Oke.
Gak canggih ya.
Say 1, 2, 3. Say cheese. Okay. Thank you very much for Brother Hamdi Hussein. You are very faithful in joining this session.
Ada Ibu Fitri tadi ya. IAIN datang lagi.
Oke. Sudah, Fi?
Besok datang lagi ya IAIN. Ibu Eka, see you tomorrow. Ibu Eka Apriani.
Awafi.
Ya, Bu.
Yes, ma'am. Tomorrow, ma'am. Ya. Yes.
Apa, Bu?
Next ngadakan di Uniro.
Siap,
Ya,
Bu.
thank you.
Masih di kampus Bu Eka?
Iya, masih di kampus, ma'am.
Semangat, Bu.
Iya, semangat. Besok.
Iya,
Glowing.
Besok.
Bu Eka nggak glowing karena kameranya lagi redup.
Ya, nah ini mau dipindah komputernya biar glowing besok. Mau dipindah.
Cari posisi, Bu.
Oke.
Ada Teh Eva.
Mana Teh Eva?
Eva bagian
ada.
Oh iya di bawah tuh ya.
Di bawah.
Nggak keluar dia.
For everyone for everyone who is interested in joining probably to